Let's do that round.
Folks, welcome across Africa. Here are the headquarters of the collaborating political parties where the CPP leaders are about to have a press conference. So sitting over there is Louis G. Brown, and of course he is the chairperson of the CPP capital. On his side is Martin Sekula. He's also a member of the secretariat.
Please, we don't want a video comment of what happened the last time. In the hall here, we want people on the witness press conference. Please put on silence. It goes to everyone who was here. You have a ganja, please come and bring it. Photo, food, whatever. You have a food.
There's more. There's more.
No. Come all this.
There's more. There's more. What a capture. Check camera man.
US-based focus on that. US-based focus on that.
Strong news.
Of course, across Africa Live, we are here at the headquarters of the collaborating political parties, where Mr. Martin Sekula, Louis G. Brown, and the entire team comments about to address in the press ahead of December 17 with Taya Sovereign Rally.
Executives, political parties present, members of the community present. We'd like to take this time to welcome all of you to this all-important press conference. Today's conference will be addressed by two distinguished individuals, namely Honorable Martin Sekula, Deputy Secretary General CPP, and head of the December 17 rally. He will be followed by Ambassador Louis G. Brown, head of the Commerce. We will entertain few questions after the address is made. Please, again, we will ask all of us to please ask one question at a time. One person per question. So again, we say welcome to you.
So, a member of the Secretariat of the Collaborating Political Parties, Matisse Kola, is a part of the church in the press.
Let me say thank you to members of the press that have come to cover this press conference. And let me also thank distinguished members of the Collaborating Political Party, the CPP, and other stakeholder institutions that have joined this effort to ensure that we speak up our frustration and disappointment in this government. And those who are here today, thank you for coming. I see many of those institutions, the National Association of Community Leaders, I see the Cross-Border Women Association, the National Indigenous Movement of Liberia, the Small Business Market Women Association of Liberia, the Gobacho Women Association. I see her putting her hand up there. She wants to make sure that her name is called to tell you that this effort is a national effort. It's not about CPP, it's not about Ambassador Brown, not about any of us. It's about rescuing this country. I want to thank you today. We will be giving you updates as to how far we are concerning the rally, and regularly we'll call the press between now and Friday. We will have 3 press conferences to update the public and inform you about new development so that our people are properly informed before turning up on the 17th. In summary, I can say to you that since we announced this rally officially, and since the team leader of Team Kumi appointed us to manage the rally, my team and I to manage this rally, we have been getting huge support from different institutions and individuals who are frustrated about bad governance and the perpetration of ill management of our resources by this government. So a lot of institutions, just yesterday, 3 additional institutions committed to the process. The Small Business Women Association of Liberia, I think they have their representative here. She committed to the process. She and her team, the disenchanted sedition, the movement of the disenchanted sedition against the re-election of Ambassador Weah, also committed yesterday. The National Tailoring Union of Liberia also committed yesterday. The National Mechanic Union of Liberia also committed yesterday. We just try to let all of you know, every citizen of the country to know that this is a national endeavor. It's not about us. It's about Liberia. It's about delivering this country from this bad leadership that we are experiencing. So I want to say hats up to those institutions who are just named and who have committed themselves to the process. We are in negotiation and discussion with other institutions who wants to get a clearer understanding about what will happen on that day. And so there will be more and more institutions as we brief you on a daily basis that will be committing to the process. And you will hear some of them speak up. Already today, we started with different media institutions, engagement of different media institutions, where there were different national groups and institutions and organizations that make appearances today. The Cross-Border Women the Cross-Border Women of Liberia appear today on Prime FM, right? Prime FM, and Ma Sanjay and her team. If you follow Crown FM, today on Strong FM, the Association of Liberia Muslims for Peace leader and the Grassroots Pastoral Network of Liberia make some appearances on Strong FM. On True FM, the Concerned Veteran Association of Liberia, some of them ex-fighter, ex-combatant, and some of them professional security personnel, part of that institution, make some appearances with one of our appearance with one of our colleagues, CFA journalists on True FM. And of course, the ambassador, no news about that, also appeared today, Ambassador Brown, and so many other shows. So from time to time, our people will be speaking of. Tomorrow we hope to have members of the Gorbachev women also taking the stage tomorrow. The former CDC Royal Guard, now CPP Royal Guard, will be in action tomorrow, calling supporters of their groups, those who once upon a time supported this president that is performing so despondent pool in the governance of this country. So there will be so many of this kind of conversation on the radio, and we want for our people to follow, and so that you listen to the voices of not only Martin Kola, not only Ambassador Brown, not only George Wisner, or our standard bearer, Mr. Razana B. Cummings, but the voices of ordinary Liberian market women, Yana boss, or different kind of trade unions. These people will be different organizations that are part of the National Trade Union. These people, they will be speaking to the public and calling on their constituents very regularly. Also today we want to inform the public that we have doubled up and intensified our outreach publicity to our people in the various districts. So you will see vehicles passing around, singing about, or playing drama, playing music about the retired suffering, rally, and these person on the vehicle will be dividing handbills, flyers for our people, inviting them to the rally. We want to be very thankful because the CDC attack on this rally also helped to give it the level of publicity that we now have. We want to appreciate the CDC for the level of attack on this rally, which have brought up to this speed and up to this level at this time. Our people are well informed. As a matter of fact, people in the various counties are now calling for their own rally because of the attack on this, because the people in Bone County, Brewer-G County, Lofa County, Grand Chile County, Grand Coup, all those people, they are all suffering. Everybody tired suffering in this country. I want to call some of the agencies that tired suffering. That's what I'm here with roll. But they will be at the rally. So we want to appreciate the few government officials that took out their time to help publicize this rally. So our outreach team will be all in the community, and they will be, giving flyers, handbills, and other things. This week, we will also double up our meetings with different groups and institutions. We have engaged most of those groups for the purpose of information and trying to bring everybody up to speed on our constitutional right to assemble and petition or express our view on a particular issue consistent with Article 17 of the Constitution. So we'll be meeting with different institutions, national institutions, apart from those that have already joined, or the Liberia Council of Churches, the National Muslim Council of Liberia. We have meeting planning with the different students and youth institutions, also, Lensu, and the rest of them. We have meeting plans with a grassroots pastoral network, all different groups. The Liberia Business Association. So a lot of these groups, we try to engage them, and for the purpose of information, let them to know that we are doing this within the confines of the law. And thankfully, the acting president of the Republic of Liberia, the Minister of Justice, has officially communicated to the Rally Committee that we have clearance to get police support. By way of information, we communicated with the Ministry of Justice consistent with law for the purpose of information, so that under the law they provide security, not necessarily approval. We did not go to the Ministry of Justice, read my letter. My letter had nothing indicating that we needed approval from the Ministry of Justice, and this is consistent with law. So, and the Ministry of Justice was under obligation to do what they just communicated to us. And we are very happy and thankful that our people now have a platform. Talking about that, let me just say that this CDC-led government should be very thankful to Ambassador Brown, to the CPP, and to Tim Cummings, and to all of us who are setting the stage for people to vent up their anger and frustration in peace. Under other circumstances, people were taking all routes. But we understand the law. We want to keep the country peaceful. We want to ensure that our people live there in peace. So we took the giant step to call for this rally. So instead of people sitting in their corner and vent on their frustration through other means, we say that rally, this rally the law called for. And instead of the CC government being very thankful and appreciative, and very appreciative to Ambassador Brown and to some of us, they are there attacking us, something that they have no control over. People who are losing up in this country, who have been bad. Ambassador Brown wants to say thank you. And this is why we see this opportunity as something that is so dear and is a call to national duty. Martin and I can not stop thanking you and being so grateful. And we'll do everything we're supposed to do under the confines of the law. We think this government should be very much appreciative to Ambassador Brown and to Tim Cummings for setting this national stage. This is a stage not for Tim Cummings, not for CPP, not for Liberty Party, not for ANC, but for Liberia, calling on everybody to participate. Every political party, we have other political parties already that have signed up. All the other political parties, you are welcome. You can come. The stage is open. We have open meetings. So we want to be very thankful. There are flyers being built up already. We have already started having conversation with government apparatus, institutions that supposed to accomplish us during that day. We have the fire service contacted already, and we are in conversation with the Liberia National Fire Service, because we're talking about 100,000 plus person. This will be the first of its kind, by the way, in the Republic of Liberia. No gallery will beat this gallery that we are about to have. The people will come out, especially the cleric. We have photocopied the government letter, we send it all over. The people happy. Nothing will happen. So we have the fire service on the standby. We are going into conversation already. Our men are engaging the Liberia National Police. We have the ambulance service also that we have. So there will be ambulance service on that day, just in case somebody gets exhausted or somebody gets injured. There will be ambulance service on that day. The steering committee is working tirelessly around the clock to make sure that we have an effective medical service on that day, giving past experiences that we have. And also because of the huge demand, because of the huge support and the influx of institutions, because the 100,000 initially that we're talking about was structures that we know, people that were engaged with. Now we get different institutions coming in now, so the demand for teachers and other things getting higher than the 100,000 that we initially targeted. So we have said that you can wear your t-shirts and come, wear your organization t-shirts, wear your political party t-shirts, come with it, and we put Taya suffering on it. There will be 18 locations for our printing, and I will announce them. But 18 locations for our printing through Morocco County. You go there, they will print your t-shirt free. If I your organization t-shirt, just go there, we print on it. We Taya suffering. Or we print on it, we Taya. That message there will go. So if you're part of political party, come. Bring that t-shirt. If you get one t-shirt or print t-shirt, bring it. You get your t-shirt, but not too clean, you get small writing on it, bring it. We look for space, we Taya something on it. Like your own t-shirt there, you work out. So we get 17 locations. We get somewhere in district number 1. We get 2 areas in district number 1 because of the vast land space in district number 1. You know, it's the largest district in terms of land space. We have there's a charging booth opposite the convenience school in Copper's Farm, district number 1. Just before you go further, there's a place they call Copper Farm. So there's a charging booth there. At that charging booth, there will be one screen there and will be pretty people t-shirt free. Take your t-shirt and nobody will overcharge you. They will just print it for you free. Then, Mr. Adolphus Sisse, resident at Harrisburg Junction, go there too. It's in District 1. They will print it for you free. District 2, Moscow Yard, around New Hope Junction, behind the Moscow Clinic. They will print it there for you free. Once you go there, they will put out Taya suffering on it. Free. So people in District 2 don't go to District 5. You get somewhere to have printed there. Moscow Yard is around the NVTC, around New Hope Junction there. So look there. Or District 3, Dr. Henry Reeves School, around the Daniel G. Junction. When you are on the Puebla Road, just before you bend up to go to World Park up in, there's a big school there they call Dr. Henry Reeves School. So right in the yard there, we'll be printing. Free printing. District 4, the CPP Morocco County office around Dupo Road Junction. District 4, CPP Morocco County office around Dupo Road Junction. Free printing. District 5, Former Right International School around the Police Academy Junction. Former Right International School. If you're from District 5, from Police Academy, you're around Red area there, 72nd, just go to the former Right International, right on the road there, right around Police Academy Junction there. District 6, where I come from, Lam International School, on the BRI highway around the Nagweta Junction. Just before when you're coming from the Nagweta Junction, it is between the Nagweta Junction and the Golden Key Hotel, somewhere in between there on the right if you're coming from the Sport Complex side. There will be District 7 for Hour 21 around Mankebe College Shop, Mercury and Kerry Street intersection. District 7, right around Mercury and Kerry Street, just after Mankebe College Shop, right there it will be printing. District 8, Robert Shop, adjacent Creation Entertainment Center on the Jaratan Road, Resa Creation. There's a shop that they call Rubber Shop. There will be free printing there. District 9, CPP 19th Street office. So we'll be doing printing here for District 9. The District 9 people here, come to the CPP headquarters. District 10, ANC headquarters. ANC headquarters on the Old Road, Cali Junction. District 11, Kabak football field around the Kabak clinic, right around the Kabak clinic there on the football field that we printing. District 12, Wacom Printing House, Stephen Tower Estate Field. When you go Stephen Tower Estate Field, there's a printing house there called Wacom. We have arranged there, so the stream will be there and we'll be printing. District 13, Imam Sharif Muslim School, opposite Big Simaco in New Jersey. Opposite Big Simaco in New Jersey. District 14, Old School, after the National Drugs Enforcement Agency office, before the Doe Community Junction in District 14. They call it Old School. There's a community there, they call Old School, right after the NDA office there. District 15, Latte Yard, around the St. Edward Catholic School, Logan Town. There's a yard, a big yard called the Latin Yard, right on the road. District 16, Divine Print Incorporated, New Town, a JC Mission for Today Holy Church. District 16, Divine Print Incorporated, New Town, a JC Mission for Today Holy Church. So we're going to be printing these t-shirts. We have t-shirts here. We're going to be giving up. But we'll finish giving 100,000 t-shirts, or we still need to do more t-shirts. So we tell you, other people, look, when your party t-shirt come, where your organization t-shirt come, get that up with Taya suffering on it. And and if you print it up to Friday, then get where you get come. But we want that you to come and express that the t-shirt. So it will be pretty t-shirts and for everybody. So from time to time we inform you. On Friday, this Friday, we'll be mounting the stage in front the Samuel Kayan Sport Complex. This Friday, so there'll be huge turn up there. On Friday, the eve of December 17th, we'll be mounting the one stage there. There'll be music there. While the stage is in, we are putting a bigger stage over there, so that people can stay on that stage to speak to their government and speak to the international community. So Friday is a whole day affair. Mounting the white stage there, and our people will be there, and there'll be music, and while the people constructing the white stage. So this Friday we have some activities there. So these are some of the updates that we have right now. I would just like to say that we will continue to inform you as the day go by. We have sent out forms that can recruit about 150,000 persons. Because we did the first 2,500 forms. When you check 2,500 times 60, you will know the number. Do the math, you will know the number. They are returning the form rapidly, and the demand for form. Up to the time that I are giving up almost a ream of form, almost 500 sheets this morning, between 9 o'clock to the time of this press conference. And we still giving up form because the people tired suffering. They all want to come to identify with us. Again, let me thank the team that are working tirelessly with me. It is a Liberia business, and we want to thank especially those who are not part of the CPP but have joined us on this national call to ensure that our government listening and that the international community hear us. Want to say thank you, a big thank you to those institutions. The last time Ambassador Brad named about 18 of those institutions here. I just announced some additional institutions that have joined us. Want to say hats up, thank you. You will not regret this. This is not about us. It's not about any individual benefits. It's about changing our country. It's about changing the way things are around here, which are in contrast to the needs of our people. So I want to say thank you. And thank you to the CPP team too that are working tirelessly for all of us to make sure that we make a difference. From time to time, like I said, we will call the press to give you update and to inform you about where we are on this. As I speak to you now, we have in commitment almost 75,000 persons forms that have been returned. Hopefully between now and Wednesday, we may reach up to the 100,000 and beyond. But we gave out forms for 150,000. We have more than half of those forms that have been returned to us. And when you do the math, there are 75,000 plus that have officially committed and signed up and said we will be there. And we are hoping that as the day goes by, as the government intensifies her attack, and as we engage our people, the people will come up in their mass. We are aware of some plan of the government. But that will be left with Ambassador Brown to engage you on that and to make sure that our people know. The guarantee that I want to give you here today is that the rally will be peaceful and nobody will do anything to us. This is a country that for all of us, nobody will intimidate. No, as a matter of fact, the acting president of this country wrote officially and said, this is what we're going to do. Anybody who will try to do something contrary will have the consequences. The good news is, you know, our big brother who can normally sanction us, they stay around. So when I hear one major talking, or one minister in government talking, or one party chairman talking, and you think he can threaten and liberate people in the peace of this country, I can be laughing. Because sanction is still around. And some of us will support sanction for individual and not for this country. You steal our money, we will pray and call for sanction on you. You harass our people, we will pray and call for sanction on you. We are calling for sanction on people who transfer our money out of this country. I mean, look at the most recent transfer about the Leje saga. We are praying for sanction on those kind of people. So we will pray for our sanction. So keep making all your dubious plans and thinking that you will go free. Thank you. These are the latest updates. Ambassador Brown will come and then close up.
Of course, folks, if you're just joining us across Africa, that was the voice of Martin Seikula. He's also an experiment in District number 6. Before you is Louis G. Brown. Louis Brown is the chairperson of this Communist campaign team ahead of 2023 general and presidential election. Of course, he's the one who is the chief organizer of the December 17 blind rally.
Let me join my voice to Mr. Pulas and his team. Thank them for the work they are doing, and to thank the people of Liberia for the reception that this peaceful rally is receiving. I'd like to make a few points. One is that people think we're doing this because we're trying to make name for ourselves or because we're just brave. One of the reasons I believe our country has suffered, it's not because we don't know what is right. It's not because we don't have good laws. It is because too often we have not shown enough courage to do the right things the right way. A mentor of mine told me a long time ago, may his soul rest in peace, the late Gabriel Bacchus Matthews told me and others, when the people of a country suffer in silence, it is dangerous for that country's democracy and peace. Peace is not silence. Peace is truth telling. Peace is democracy at work. Security is not hiding because you're scared. Security is not saying the truth only in your home to your husband or to your wife when nobody can hear you. Security is your ability to say what you truly believe to your government that you created and authorized to act on your behalf. If we cannot do that, if we all get scared, not only will we suffer in silence, which is dangerous for our country, but we will force our children to also suffer in silence and live under conditions that's not healthy for our democracy and the peace and security of our country. Over the last few days, since we made this announcement, we've heard many, including from the opposition community, condemn, challenge, castigate, call us all types of names. Sometimes I listen to how we're nullified and vilified. That it comes across, and anyone will be forgiven for thinking that in fact, I probably recruited President Charles Taylor to the NPFL. When you hear some of the slander, but they can slander me. You should not let them slander your cause. You should not let yourself be scared. You should not give up. You should not give in when you know your cause is just and you are right. There's a reason each of us are here today. There's a reason we are alive today. Because others sacrificed themselves so that we too can have a chance. What sacrifices are we also ready to make so that others after us can have a chance? I've heard some people say, oh, it's a good cause, but it's a bad messenger. Oh, it's a good cause for the people, but if we participate and permit it to succeed, what will ultimately happen is that it will operate to the political best interest of our opponent. Even opposition people are saying this. Shame on you. Shame on you for not having the true courage to stand up for a good cause for the people. There are only two sides to what we face in the country today. On one side is the government that is responsible for the suffering of our people and don't want this rally to happen. Strangely, this is the same government which just recently, 5 years ago, if that is recent at all, won 61%, more than 61% of the votes in our country. President Weah came to power. Such was the overwhelming mandate of the people that he himself could not take his oath of office in the national shrine where others before him did. He took his oath at the SKD. This is why we are returning to the SKD. This is where he made his promises to the people of this country. This is where the people have a right to return, to remind him of those broken promises. That's why they're scared for us to go there. And they told us to go outside, into the empty space. And they charge us for it. Liberian people space. Liberian people coming out. In the outside empty space. And you charge us. And we stay paid. But you stay scared. The people that gave you over 61% of the vote, what have you done that you are afraid of them to do? No child who does good gets afraid of going home. The same people who accuse you of wanting to destabilize, with fermenting chaos, they were the ones asking us to go to ATS, opposite A that the barracks, across from A that the mansion, and the Capitol building. If you say we want to disturb the country, peace, why are you trying to send us near government installation? Shouldn't you be sending us our Tanzania? They're scared of the people. My people, you listen to Mr. Kula. There are some in the opposition community that want to make this about them. Not about me, not about Mr. Cummings. You're listening to Mr. Cummings. None of us want this to be about us. But some are so selfish. They are looking to their electoral chances at the expense of the suffering people of this country. You say the people are suffering, the cause is good. But you're scared to stand for them and stand with them. Woe unto you. I won't call their names here. I promise some people I will not react. But woe unto you and your conscience. You want to seek power at the expense of the people. But when it comes time to stand up for the people, some of you look for every reason unimaginable to hide yourselves. This country will rise. This country will be democratic. Each of us, God appointed unto us a lifetime. We will not die before our time. No. Nor will we silence ourselves as if we are dead before our own times. No. God alone holds our lives. This is why we fear no man. No man. We don't say you don't have the capacity to harm us, but you don't have the capacity to silence us. Only God. And one day when we give up this life, we hope that we will have a better country for our children to live in, where they too will be able to speak truth to power without threats of violence, without fear. Liberian people, you have a chance to stand up. Turn out. Some of you journalists, I know you put big journalist press on your t-shirt just so nobody can mistake you. It will be a peaceful rally. I told you from day one, and I'm saying it to you again. You listen to Mr. Cummings, I think it was yesterday, tell you this is a peaceful rally. The government tried to mischaracterize it and call it protest, call it this test, call it hard test. We are having a peaceful rally, period. If you want to stay away because you're scared, you're helping this government to make people scared. If you disagree with us and you don't want to show up, fine, that's your democratic right. But if you agree with us and you're scared to show up because you think something will happen to you, you're helping this government mislead our people. If you know this is a just cause, and you worry about whether if it succeeds, Liberian people will vote for you, you are selfish. You are not running for the people, you're running for yourself. Anybody who running for the people will stand up for the people when the people need you to stand up for them.
Yes, sir.
Stop your excuses. Stop your excuses. You want to be a man for the people? This is the time. Liberian people are suffering too much. The stories about, and some people try to make it to distract. Is Louis Brown suffering? Is Alexander Cummings suffering? Is George Wisner suffering? Somebody said a long time ago, you cannot be truly healthy when everybody around you sick. Even if you have $1 million, you cannot be rich when everybody around you poor. Yes. But what kind of human being are you that others in your community, others in your neighborhood, people you know are suffering, and you say, I am not suffering, so I will not identify with them? Woe unto you. We must eat, be each other's keeper. We must eat, be our brother's keeper. We must eat, be our sister's keeper. This is a divine calling unto all of us. Whose family here don't know that Liberians are suffering? And some people argue, okay, so the people can't, they trivialize this. They joke with people pain. I went to a village where people die in Kinu. I tell you all repeatedly, but there's 8-week-old baby whose body was never found. I told you about men crying from the pains, from the agony, from the anguish. Every day we see honorable people turn into beggars in their own country. Yes. Begging just for 1 meal. When the government is so wasteful. People are suffering. We can choose to let them suffer in silence and play politics about it. This, for some of us, is not about politics. I am running for nothing. So some of you who are running for everything, you don't need to fear me because I'm running for nothing. I just want a better country. People die for us to be able to see it. And even if we're wrong, this government or no other government should ever frighten us or try to kill us because we have a right to say what we believe our reality to be true. You can disagree with us, but you have no right to threaten our lives or to kill us because we disagree with you. And so those who don't want to stand on the side of the people, there are only two sides here. The people and the government. If you are an opposition figure and you say the cause is right, but you will not stand with the people, then you are actually standing with the government. Look, we told you December 17 we'll go to the SKD. Some of you doubted it. Fear should never be the basis of a people acting. Fear. We also told you that thing that happened on July 26th, when peaceful children were beaten, brutalized, and disgraced in the street. It will never happen in our country again. It should never, ever happen in our country again. And it's a duty that we have to make sure it never happens again. If you are scared and you stay home, I'm not Liberian people. We like to look for heroes sometimes. That brown boy, the boy brave. Meanwhile, he's sitting way behind his girlfriend. And they say, they want Louis Brown. Hey, I'm going to give it to them. Don't let Louis Brown alone give it to them. Give it to them too. You are feeling it. Don't make this about me. I'm not trying to run for anything. Don't make this about me. Make this about you. What do you honestly feel? Mr. Cummings said a few days ago, if even you enjoying and you know the Liberian people that are struggling and suffering, come out and support them. You have a duty to. If you get scared now, somebody said to me, you know, why we don't just wait and then election time, we just go vote the government out? My answer to them is simple. If 10 months to the election you are scared to stand up, You are scared to come out. You are scared to be seen or to be heard. On election day, you sure you will come out? This is when you should test whether you have the courage to even come out on election day. Because if you think they're frightening you now, they will frighten you even more on election day. Show them you own this country too. Say no to their attempt to threaten and frighten you. I have family members scared for my life, calling me. Please, let it be so. I say to them in honest love, I can't stop. We will not stop. Mr. Cummings cannot stop. None of us here should stop. Because if we stop, because a family member is scared for me or for them, we will only institutionalize fear to the point that it will go beyond my family to your family and many, many other Liberian families. No family should survive here out of fear. No family should be silent in this country out of fear. No member of the press should will themselves into self-censorship out of fear. Then you're in the wrong profession. Find something else to do. I appeal to all Liberians everywhere. This is your chance to speak. This is your rally. And it will be peaceful. We promise you we'll go to the SKU. The government, through the Ministry of Justice, announced said, yes, you're going to go to the SKU. We just told you why. Come there. Come in your numbers. We know that before that day, just as we're working to mobilize, they will be working to demobilize. They will be going in community and frightening people. It's your choice to make for your country and your future. Too often we have seen when leaders and citizens are afraid to risk anything, they lose everything. People can deny you food. People can deny you jobs. People can deny you, and people can even take your life. But what they must never do to you is to deny you your own self-value, your own worth as a human being. Don't let boys make you, don't let boys make you a man to be a boy. Stand up for something. Stand up for your country. Liberia needs all of us on that day. We're getting calls from all other counties now and say, oh, but you didn't know we're suffering too? One John and Raleigh says, we beg you, the other one be for Mosharani. Come out in your numbers. Speak to your government. We heard women this morning talking to the country. And then we still get some men talking about, hey, you know, boy, you know, then you know, however, yeah, boy. You either ready to stand for the people, or you standing with the government. There's no if and in between. And those who think you enjoy it, fine for you. We pray that you continue to enjoy. But the policy, if they didn't catch you now, the government policy, if they didn't catch you now, it will catch you tomorrow. You better make sure they're doing the right thing by the country and the people. On the forms, I just want to make one clarity. If you have seen a form or written your name on it, one of the reasons we started sending out forms is because we wanted to connect with those who would turn out. We don't want that there is a person that was there and the police may have arrested them and we have no way of knowing or reaching out to them. That's why we ask people to, we're not trying to get our name to government or to use it for party. We're trying to make sure everybody who turns out on that day, we can account for them and we can help provide security for them. Our people started meeting today with the Liberia National Police. They have a duty to provide security. We will ensure that they keep that duty. Our people will be safe on that day. Or some of them don't deserve to be paid to do their jobs. They get paid by the Liberian people money. They will do their jobs on that day. Some of them just be getting the money and we'll see what they've been doing. On that day, we'll see what they've been doing. You have no reason to fear. My people, come. In your thousands. Nothing will happen to you. So part of the form that will make sure we are able to trace people. If you get arrested in the corner, or somebody attacked you, or somebody, we will know you, we will find you, we will protect you. You arrest any of our people, we'll trace them by the phone and we'll find where they are. You put them in any depot, we'll go there, we'll move them from it. You better have a reason to arrest any of our people. That's why we started this form. So between now and Friday, if you don't reach, if phone didn't reach you and you're able to put your name on form, you can still come to the rally. Don't let form hold you back. Come to the rally. Come. Stand up for your country. Stand up for Liberia. Stand up for what you're feeling and give yourself a chance to express it. Now, everybody will not be on stage to speak on that day. I may not speak on that day. The people are drawing up, they will draw up the program later and they will keep informing you about the program. But the ordinary Liberian people will speak on that day. That is their program. We want them to be heard. They will speak, they will take the stage. Then we will collect their views and at a subsequent date we'll present it to the legislature. That's the plan we have. So the legislature will hear what the people say. One thing we don't want to go gather there, then they accuse us of trying to make sure people ain't go to work. So we'll go way all the time where the president made a promise to the people. Then we'll bring that other decision the people made about where his promises are now and present it to them. So we invite all of you to please attend. You have nothing to fear, like they say, but fear itself. And you know, let me paraphrase someone. If you do not overcome fear, you never live truly. You are imprisoned by your fears. Don't let your government imprison by fear. Or don't imprison yourself because the government threatens you with fear. I thank all of you. I look forward to seeing you.
Mr. Fox, that was Louis T. Brown, the head of the Team Commons Rally, and also he is the chairperson of Team Commons campaign team.
One question.
Popidai Johnson from Page Africa. Good afternoon, Honorable Brown. Liberians, both home and abroad, have been requesting the planners of the December 17 rally, along with their family members, including Mr. Alexander Cummings, his wife and other relatives, to also form a part of the peaceful rally. In the case of eventuality, are you willing to take full responsibility or bear the consequence of the action of December 17? There are also conjoint reports that the government... One question still going.
No, but enough. So look, I will be at the peaceful rally of December 17, 2022 in the outside ring of the Samuel Kanye School's complex. Mr. Cummings has indicated publicly and privately that he will be there. Now, we are committed to a peaceful rally. It was the government person that introduced the word protest. And I know our psychology, our history, is that protest tends to be a bit difficult. But we are having a peaceful rally. We are doing everything to ensure it is a peaceful rally. I don't know who the spokesperson that in the diaspora that decide that they want to give condition for us who on the ground here and what we need to do here. I advise them, if they think every family member who may be outside the country or live anywhere else need to be here, they themselves who calling for the suggestion need to be here too. But be that as it may, we are doing everything to ensure it is a peaceful rally. You listen to Mr. Kula, including providing ambulances, including working with the Liberia National Police. And we want them to take responsibility if anything goes wrong, because they are constitutionally responsible for security. Unless we start telling each of us now to start raising our own private army to protect ourselves, which is not what democracy is about, at least not democratic governance. If you want to tell me now that the police cannot take responsibility, that this government lacks the capacity to protect its people, I'm not sure that's what you want to tell me, because that's very dangerous. So the Liberian people will then assure that the government has a duty to protect them. And we are confident the government will do its duty. And we invite anybody in the diaspora, everywhere. If you is a spokesperson in the diaspora, can you on the ground be spokesperson here too? We invite you to join us. Let me having said that, recognize and we'll invite him after your questions to make brief remarks. Former representative, former senator of Bomi County, Honorable Sandro Johnson, and you will hear from himself some of the efforts he has made. He heard us on radio and just sent me a note to say, I am coming there and I will be at the rally and the Liberian people will hear me. So he came by himself to join this press conference to encourage our people. We'll give him a few minutes after your question. Yes, please. So let me get a question short and brief. See, I answer short.
Thank you so much. My name is Delton Darling. Honorable Louis Brown.
Which
CPP Africa, sir.
Flames?
CPP Africa. Since President George Weah became president, there have been a series of protests to save the state and bring back our money. The outcome of these protests is still remain a challenge. What can we say about your protest, you having a protest? What can we expect to see at the outcome?
Flame, you falling for the government propaganda. We repeatedly say, and I beg you please read your stories properly. This is a peaceful rally. Now, does it mean we're scared to call it protest? No. But we want to call it what it actually is. You stop mischaracterizing it. This is a peaceful rally of Liberians, and Liberians have a right to do so. Now, here's the question. You have suggested in your question to me that the government does not listen. You say to me, Mr. Brown, this is a deaf and dumb government. They don't listen, they don't talk, they don't care. That's what you just said to me. But should the Liberian people just go sit down in silence because the government can't listen, can't talk, can't hear? No. Liberians should not be permitted to suffer in silence. Even if the government does not listen, do your part. Your duty is to speak loudly and clearly about what you feel. You know, the government running all around with their public relations, that everything okay in the country, that nobody's suffering, that everything all right, that Liberian people enjoying. This is Miami. You listen to the president of Miami, insulting people, intelligence, insulting your being. When somebody joke about what you are feeling, they're insulting you. Now we have a choice. We can sit down quietly and accept the insult. Or we can say, no, that's not true. You know, freedom of expression can be expressed many ways. Turning out and marching peacefully is an expression of freedom. You don't have to stay to the microphone and speak. Just turning out is an expression. Especially when the government is doing everything to ensure you don't turn out. If you don't turn out, the message that will go out to the rest of the world, if the government can hear and see, the rest of the world can hear and see. The message that will go up to the rest of the world is that that's not true. Liberians are not happy. Now, that's your choice. Do you still want us to forget it? Or do you want us to get the message out to the world? That Liberians are not satisfied, Liberians are not happy, and Liberians are tired of suffering. I think, if I know you well, you want us to do it. And we'll do it for you on December 7th.
Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown, my name is Aaron Kuban. I work for School TV. My question was not specifically to you, but Mr. Martin Kula.
Oh.
While you were addressing the press and mentioning these institutions and groups that endorsed this protest, he talked about, the rallies. The rallies, he mentioned a group comprising ex-combatants, ex-servicemen. We can recall, unfortunately, the U.S. government sanctioned the former government official, and as part of the release of the statement I think from the U.S., but that individual was supporting ex-combatants. How can you reach at a point where ex-combatants are endorsing your protest? Is it that sponsoring their terrorists is part of the CPP too as well?
Okay, so let me start answering it. You know, I take it from my Muslim. You know, part of the problem with our country is there's good and there's bad. We should stop trying. You know, one of the problems I think wrong with this government, they're so divisive. They don't know lines against which to divide us anymore. They divide all our tribe. I started off by telling you that some of the criticism I'm reading about myself for being one of the voices, I'm not the only voice, for being one of the voices to call for this. You listen to the president himself. When I endorsed Mr. Cummings, then he went to a church. In God house, behind the pulpit, then he started calling me rebel. An ex-combatant is a citizen of Liberia. If we don't, in fact, we better be caring for them. Because some of them got skills that they can throw down. Some of them got experiences they can't drop. They're not like something in your head, you say drop it. What we have an obligation to do, and any responsible government must also do, is to provide for the least of its citizens. The strength of a chain is in its weakest link. That is why we are concerned about overcrowded prisons of young people. That's a threat to the future of our country. So many children commit first-time offenses, they end up in jail, and they return from there as hardened criminals. The society will deal with it because there's no rehabilitation program in our prisons. So, the people you call ex-combatants are citizens of this republic. They have rights, they have duties. We call them veterans. The people that are on drugs, the young people that are returning to drugs and going out of frustration to do drugs. Some of them are behind the rising crimes you see in the community. If a government and a society does not care for the least of us, you will pay for it by most of us. Again, you will not save until every Liberian feels safe in their own country. No opportunity should be denied any Liberian because they are ex-combatant, they are veteran, they are at risk, or they are what? Whatever we want to call them. Sogo. If we don't provide opportunities, and this is why you suggest that they're not suffering too. Some of these people have no limbs. Look at our disabled community. Look at our disabled community. Blind, deaf, dumb. Walk the streets. See our people begging. No drug rehabilitation program. 5 years. And some people say, yeah, but why you can't do it too? Amen. We pay these people for different people to do their jobs. That's why they ran for the election. If you know you ain't able to do the job, why you ran for it? Then you got the job now, and you don't want to serve the people that elected you. We will not distinguish between Liberians. We are not even distinguishing between parties. You listen to Mr. Kula. If you get your party t-shirt, you feel you won't wear it on that day, wear it. If you get plain t-shirt, they give you places where even if you get party, even if you're running for yourself, put your own picture on your t-shirt. Once you tire, we'll put with Taya on it, we'll print it for you free. Like Martin said, we want the message. We tired dividing Liberia. If and this thing about build back association, you got to start in our country. If you know anybody who did anything specifically wrong, I hear everybody talk. In fact, one guy actually said to me this morning on Fire Radio. He actually spent, I know that 3 day free call, but he actually spent something to call the radio station to say, I advise President Taylor to do something, to start demonstration in the country. The only question I ask you are in the room the time I advise President Taylor, and you're calling from Johnson Bay. I'm calling from Johnson Bay. That Louis Brown advised President Taylor. What kind of country was he? Everybody get to anything they want to. I mean, you lie with confidence.
So, folks, he's showing us.
Well, advising President Taylor, you were there.
Here at in the
you heard the advice and you
headquarters of the
testified with
collaborating political
confidence.
parties.
And you hear some of the people.
And
I mean, on Facebook, you hear some of the men when they
campaign
people
team
are sending
chairperson Louis G. Brown, of course, is also
what consoles me is that, first of all, I know that lie. Second, I have a clear question. And number three, I know they are all
issues
they know
regarding the radicals.
they lying on me. The only thing, the only crime, number one, I endorse and is under for me, I endorse them.
Extreme life.
That's all. That's number one. Number two, I'm calling for I join others in calling for a peaceful rally. So all the government people vex. Then while we're dealing with the government people that are threatening and doing their own infestation, we got some opposition people too that scared that if the rally succeed, Mr. Cummings will gain the credit. That all this is about. Who cares? We care about the people. That's the most important thing to us. what the people are feeling and what they need today. So if some of you who get, and you know, some of them are over you don't have a moral rectitude. All right. You who get a moral rectitude, where are you? You are hiding. You are scared. You have no courage. Moral rectitude without courage. What is that? It's like faith without works. It's dead.
Thank you. So we'll take just one more question.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, please.
Mr. Brown, my name is Jackson George, and I report for Africa 24 Line TV.
Correct.
I want to know, the ANC has been around since the inception of this administration, and of course we are almost at the electoral process come 2023. When did the ANC get to know that Liberians are
Who said that thing you reading?
tired?
Who said that text you reading?
Nobody sent me text.
Now your own text you reading?
No.
I see you reading your own text. Don't worry, not
Isha, when did...
ask me from your heart. Don't let anybody say anything to ask you.
Nobody sent me anything, Chief.
Okay.
When did the ANC get to know that Liberians are tired of suffering?
But who talk about ANC believe? That the government talking, I beg the government person saying that thing. You just said looking at it, don't bother me. It's embarrassing. That ANC thing, we're not talking to overtake this as a national rally. Then you sit down there and the man who not yet, you yet, the man say you ANC, why you are texting back straight? I said, brother, that ANC thing, yo.
You've been around for a long time. That's what I'm asking.
Let me tell you the last question. Thank you. Yeah, let me tell you the last question. Please.
Yeah, the ANC has been one of the...
You cannot join the ANC.
No, okay, let's say the CPP. The CPP, and let's say the ANC.
We're not going to say that question.
You follow the
James Boudet Flomo say that question. All right, ask Flomo question.
Supporters of the CPP, both from the Liberty Party and the ANC, for the years, we believe that the CPP has been peaceful until you arrive. Until your arrival now, there's peaceful rally. Who knows whether 2023 there will be a protest, there will be this. The people believe that you are causing more harm to the CPP.
Who people?
Liberian people.
See the Liberian people that will turn out on December 17th. Then let us judge after that. First of all, I heard, let me just react quickly. And you know, sometimes it's good for these press conferences and press interaction. Then you can hear all the talking points. It was my young brother. And he really is my young brother. Little Kojiyo actually said that ANC and CPP were doing good. Mr. Kwame was doing very well. Until Louis Brown, until he brought, what did I call that? They get a joke on me, they say, lion den. Hey man, my Sunday school teacher, I bet she turning over in your grave. But anyway, it was my little brother who actually said that Mr. Kwame was doing very, very well until he brought Louis Brown, Toga, the three Hebrew brothers. But actually, why are they crying more than the bereaved? Look, if Mr. Kwame is not doing well now, and they're supposed to be happy, then I mean the re-election at second day. What are they crying for? They're crying for Mr. Kwame. You've been complaining to them. Oh, Mr. Kwame, you want to talk to me again? You go to them to complain to that. You know I was doing well, but I lose brand and spoiling my whole campaign. I figure you'll be talking so you can move. Come on, you're stopping. You stop this childish thing. The government scared. Period. Some opposition people scared. Period. They think if this thing succeeds, it is for the success of Mr. Cummings. That's what they are thinking. They said the man didn't have constituency. They said the man didn't have tribe. When the global people got up and got angry and turned up, then they said, but Mr. Cummings are tribalists. He has introduced tribalism in our politics. Nobody knows. They say he got nobody behind him. Mr. Cummings got nobody. When I announced my support, when Toka announced that his support, they start attacking us. The president called me rebel. People start attacking Toka. None of us have left our party. My brother, we didn't want to make this about Mr. Cummings. But let me tell you, I hope you join us. Mr. Cummings is the best person to lead our country after elections in 2023. It is becoming an increasingly proven fact. We are not doing this to make that point. I have endorsed him already. He is the only leader with the leadership experience. Now you ask me. So don't say I turned the rally because I want you and James Kudo with me today. You always say I turned the rally into a campaign for coming. Meanwhile, you don't want to ask me to explain. I know all of y'all. I know them simple move. You're scared of the rally too. But let me be very clear to y'all. The rally will happen in 2023 election. President Weah will be sent back. He has failed the Liberian people. His one-term presidency is a failed presidency. My choice to replace him is Mr. Cummings. And I'm certain he will win. He will win in 2023. But this rally, it's not about that. This rally is for the people, by the people. I asked our good friends at school to please join the rally. I know they've been beating up on me, some of them calling me all kind of names. It's okay. It's okay. That's all my men and very nice ladies, by the way. But let me end up by saying, before I invite my friend, I remind all of us, my people, there are two sides here. The people and the government. Choose your side. God bless you.
That was G. Brown, chairperson of the Commons. And coming to the podium next is
So we're now about to the podium,
former senator of Mbomik County, Sandal Johnson. So before you, Sandal Johnson, former senator of Mbomik County, about to address the question.
I am not a member of the ANC. I am a member of the ALP. But we support the December 17 peaceful rally.
Sandal Johnson has said he is a member of the ALP. That's the only party of Mbele Nigeria. And of course, he supports the rally comes December 17th.
Our people have suffered and they continue to suffer. So again, I informed the ALP, the all from the party of Mr. Ben Nigeria this morning, and I told him that I will attend the rally. The rally is not about Mr. Cummings. It's not about ANC. It's about Liberia. And so we will be there in full so that the Nigerian people will speak. We organize you 7. We'll do what we have to do. But this government is not listening. And so the way for them to do something in peaceful life. And I don't listen. Let me say this. When Mr. Brown was attacked at I was sleeping. After I said I was going to be there that night. Because I was prepared. He's my neighbor, he's my friend. And we attack him personally. Then we have to put up some level of protection for him. The man, he said, you call him rebel, you call him FBI, you call him all sorts of names. But you, Mr. Weir, when you were benefiting from Chastel, financially, politically, it wasn't. When you became, I don't call it, the sport director of technical director for Blue Star, it was Mr. Brown. I did that for you. And you benefited. When I was in the legislature, we were making less than $700 US when they were being paid more than $5,000. Let me say this. When as member of the House of Representatives, and I was making less than $1,000, between $700 to $800 a month. When you, the technical director, Mr. Weir, and your friends were making $5,000 US dollars. Yeah. Then they come, and Mr. Brown, I want to say something. Then they come to what they call the disadvantaged youth. There is a law that will pass. Don't forget. That law was meant to help all the people that afford to reach. The government should be able to support them. If it came from whichever country, the government should carry the risk that they give from them. Mr. Brown, that law is there. But the government refused to. So I have to call it. So who made them so? All of us. Mr. Brown is an electoral person. He went to school. He's well schooled. He knows exactly what to do. And so, Mr. Weir, who will not vote for you? I never told somebody, I said the AFP and the MPP, there's not a product, a funding member of the MPP that you got today, you use it and misusing them. And they haven't even benefited from it. You got MPP, you took MPP, it's your personal property. You know how MPP was organized. You know what we did. And so Mr. Brown, we support the rally. For some of us, without a friend, we will be there. It is about time that Mr. Weir goes. If we don't do that 2023, I will back up. Whatever I have, I will sell it again. Mr. Weir doesn't mean well. The same thing they did to me to his house. He went to the house some 2-3 years, he had to be personal. That one till over. I said, but I listen to that for them for you. So let's go to the peaceful rally. We'll be okay. We will be there. My husband far wrong. That's it. I'm working by 7 o'clock in the morning. So we came, we support the rally because the rally is not about ANC. It's not about Mr. Kumi, it's about Liberia. So we want to know who are those persons or individual that will be at the rally. We want to know whether you follow me or you not follow me. It is from the rally on December 17th, then I will make my political decision. We all can go there. And then we do the peaceful rally. And then that man will speak. Yes. But if you say you're not going there, and then you expect me, son, no, that's then you may not have business. So God didn't call me, I call him. Let me repeat, I call him. More than 2 years with no spoken, with no surprise. I call him. When you had the first press conference there, I said, Mama, I said, brother, I will support the rally. So he didn't invite me. No. No. And so we support the rally. Thank you so much. The president, we're not afraid. We are not afraid. If John Leon and him want to kill us, come and kill us. So thank you, God bless you.
Thank you very much. Thank you to the former senator for opening, endorsing this all-important rally for the people of New York Council on December 17th. Quick update. There will be a major press conference there on Wednesday. Media is invited. We will have other political parties that will be here endorsing the rally. We will have interest groups. The student community will also be here. We will have civil society organizations that will be here on Wednesday. That will be openly declaring support to the rally. So the media is invited, and every other person in the media today is invited. Thank you very much. We will communicate the time.
Across Africa, and so that was the voice of the MC here in Desmond. As you heard for yourself, Mr. Sano Ndasa Johnson has officially endorsed the CPP rally, and he said he is an official of the All Liberia Party of Benin, Nigeria. Of course, he has endorsed the CPP rally. He called his Senator Barrow, Benin, Nigeria, and he told you that he's endorsing the rally. So officially, he has endorsed the rally, and of course, comes December 17th, he will be making his official endorsement as to who he wants to support ahead of 2023 general presidential elections across Africa. Thanks for following us. We bring you the actual happenings here, of course, at the CPP airport.